Alright Peter, tell us about the game today.
No, we're very pleased with them, Niall, the way the boys went about their business. I think since the start of the season, since they came in, they've sort of been champing at the bit, and you expect that from young players. It's a new thing for some of them. We've got a lot of youngsters this year again who've stepped up. I think we've got 8 players from last year. There's a few boys that were letting go at the end of the season. So it's a new group again. I think sometimes that brings a freshness to the other boys and they step up their game as well. And I've been very, very pleased the way they've been about their training and the way they've been about the games. And as I said, they're progressing each day and we're getting fitter each day, and I think that's proven that, and the performances are getting better as we go along.
Brilliant. You mentioned training there. Obviously there's some redevelopments going on at Motspur Park. Can you talk us through that, please?
Yeah, it's not ideal for us because obviously we've moved off site, and it's not fantastic because we love training here obviously, but we've been very fortunate to get Epsom College, and we've been at Sutton as well, so the boys have got round that very well, and that's been part of their development as well, because the facilities here are fantastic. You know, now you have to move away where a lot of clubs don't have facilities, so it gives them a wee bit of a breeding ground of what it's like here and how fortunate they are. And as I say, they've responded to it very well, and they've never made any excuses, and they've just got on with their work. And as I say, with the fitness coaches and the physios and that, all, we've made it look as homely as we possibly can. We've trained them as well as we possibly can, and to be fair, they've responded. And as I say, they'll see that in their fitness, they'll see that in the games, and we probably train harder in this period than any other time, even though you've got games on. But you're still trying to maintain that and making sure you don't get injuries. And if you get through to the first game of the season, the same as the first team without any injuries, you're absolutely delighted. But they're looking fit and sharp, and we have to deal with the sort of things that you can't train at the training facility here. We have to take great use of the other ones that we're getting offered.
With that in mind, what are your hopes for this coming season?
To win the league. You know, we'd like to win the league. That's what we're trying to do with the group of players we have. We know it's going to be tough, because obviously it's up to under 23s now. We had a very, very young group last year, predominantly 9 under 18s playing for us last year. So they're moving up now, so they'll be under 19 obviously this year, but it's an under 23 league. So there's a big difference in that, and physically, you know, and demanding. And I think a lot of clubs will use the 23s this year more than letting their players go out on loan, because of this new rule that you go out from August, you have to stay with that particular club till Christmas time. So I think you'll see a lot of clubs keeping their homegrown players, you know, unless they feel it's necessary for some of these to go out for that different type of experience. But we're looking forward to it. We know it's going to be a great challenge, but I think we've got the players that's capable of stepping up to it.
You mentioned the under 23 thing there. Obviously it's a new format. Why has that come about?
Well, I think people have been looking at it and saying the 21s wasn't real. I've got a big argument with that, because the difference for me was, even when I was a youngster playing, don't be carried on that the reserve team was full of overage players, as they would say, or 8 senior players. That wasn't the case, because if you remember, the groups, the squads were so small then. You know, you were either in the first team or you played in the reserves. It was as simple as that. It didn't matter how old you were, and if you were a substitute in the first team, you played in the reserve game in the midweek or whatever. So don't ever be kidded with the amount of people saying, oh, it's changed for the olden days. Yes, you'd maybe had 1 or 2 senior players playing, but that, as I say, that was always the case, and you're still getting that nowadays. I think the way they're trying to play, we've always argued about England going into European Championships and whatever, World Cups, can't handle the ball. Now we moan about people saying, oh, there's too much football, it's a bit false, but we've got to get it right, we've got to get the balance right, and at this level we're trying to get the best of both worlds, being able to play and play under pressure, but knowing when to mix the game. And that's the thing that we've got to try and get from the boys, and hopefully they're gaining that experience each time between the 18s and 21s, which is a big period for them, and now it's extended, as I say, to 23s.